Welcome back to another episode of Season 3 on the ZetaCraft server. In the last episode, we said we'd work on redesigning our dirt bridge, and we ran out of time to do that. So we'll start this episode off with that project. And once we're done with the bridge, I'm gonna try my hand at some redstone and see if we can't build a mud farm. And if you stick around to the very end of the episode, I'll take you to see the super secret base location I have planned that I hinted at in the very first episode. But let's quit wasting time here and see about this bridge project. Would you look at that? We've got a bridge. Building over the void was just as stressful as I anticipated, but look at how beautiful this bridge turned out. The inspiration for the design, it was supposed to mimic a wooden train trestle bridge in the arching trestles that you kind of see with the fences down below, and I think that it translated over very nicely. I really love the way that this turned out. After completing the bridge, I sort of rearranged our little tree farm we had going on here, put these pathways in, and built a Podzol Farm. It may not be the most efficient Podzol Farm ever, but the output has been pretty decent. So the way that the farm works, we've got everything down here. We can grab our supplies. We'll need some saplings. We'll need some bone meal from our nice little bone meal farm that Ricky set up for us. If we come up to the top layer of the farm, we can go ahead and chop down these bottom 4 blocks of our giant spruce tree. And from there, we can go ahead and mine up all of this. Am I using the right shovel? I am using the right shovel. Okay. Mine up all of this podzol. Leave the regular dirt blocks behind, and as we break these blocks, they fall into the water stream, where they are then funneled into a line of hoppers, which deposits them into the chests below. So the average output of this farm is roughly a stack and a half of podzol per tree growth. So now let's refill this area with fresh dirt. Our 10 by 10 dirt platform is refilled. So now we can plant our saplings right here in the middle. I like to use the light level thing there to show me the exact middle. And then we break out our bone meal because I don't believe that these saplings will grow naturally with an existing tree above it, so you do have to use bone meal, but I have an abundance of that on hand. And I think if I had built this platform as a 12 by 12 dirt platform, or even a 14 by 14, our Podzol output would likely be higher than it is, but I didn't know that before I built the farm. I built the farm and then tested it, which I would definitely recommend testing and then building, but hey, we did things a little bit out of order. And if we come down here to the chests below, you'll see we've got plenty of Podzol collecting, and obviously this is from multiple harvests of the farm. And yeah, there you have it. There's the Podzol farm. Before we move on to the next project, I feel like I should probably address something. Previously, I was very outspokenly team no wings. I had every intention of going the entire season without using an elytra. And the reasoning for that was because I wanted to avoid any void deaths. And if I used an elytra, that felt like a really cheaty way to achieve that goal, because if I fell off of the land, I could just fly myself right back up. Now, tragically, I was slaughtered by a fellow Zeta, knocked right off the nether path and directly into the void below. And with my first void death out of the way, I figured it was probably time to break out the wings, and I've gotta say, life has been a lot nicer with wings in this world style. With that out of the way, it's time to build a farm. Now, I'm just gonna watch a tutorial and copy it, which means this is probably a good time for another time lapse. We've done it. We've created a functional mud farm. But I may have just learned that in order to turn these into mud bricks, I have to first turn them into packed mud. And in order to turn them into packed mud, I need wheat. And so much wheat. And the other thing I didn't think about is that in order to keep this farm going, I'm going to have to source dirt. So much dirt. And so much wheat. The mud farm is functional and I am completely unprepared. Here's what we're gonna do about it. 1, I'm going to dress this up a little bit. It's very bare bones and it could be a little bit prettier. So we'll dress this up, make it a little more presentable. Then we're going to build a wheat farm. Probably right here, right next to the mud farm. After we got the wheat farm built, it was time to hang out and spend a little time down here AFK while the wheat started to roll in. But what's weird about this is that typically the seed production is significantly higher than the wheat production. So for there to be absolutely no seeds around here, that means that one of the other Zetas stopped by and took our seeds. But why would anyone want to take that many seeds? Well, that was my line of thinking too, until I popped upstairs, and lo and behold, the entire island is a wheat farm. And of course, we've got this nice little note here, warmest regards, the Phantom. And Bleaker's around, but I don't think that he's the guilty party here. And while there's no specific Zeta named here, we do have a blatant admission of guilt in the chat. So I guess the rest of the plans for this season are canceled because I'm a full-time wheat farmer now. So oh my goodness, I can't believe this. This is insane. I kind of like it. It's almost scenic. Right, Bleaker? Right, Bleaker? Right, Bleaker? Right, Bleaker? Bleaker, right? Bleaker, right? What the Now that we've finished the bridge, the Podzol Farm, the mud farm, the wheat farm, and the other wheat farm, that pretty much takes care of everything that I wanted to do this episode. Except, check out the new base location. Welcome to the new base location. This giant overhang covered in dripstone behind us is the start of something amazing. We are on the east side of this gigantic overhanging structure. And right here on this wall is the perfect place for another portal. I think that's going to be one of the first things we take care of so we can get to and from this place a little bit easier. And if we make our way through all of this dripstone, we can get a little bit closer to this hanging structure. And I'll see if I can paint a better picture as to what this place is going to end up looking like. We're going to take advantage of the natural shape of this land and sort of build our base into the bottom of this massive structure. Not only will this area epically showcase our base, but the view into the void from here is pretty awesome as well. And with that, we've achieved everything that was on our to-do list today, so it is time to say goodbye. Be sure to check out all of my fellow Zetas. You can find the links to all of their channels down there in the description. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see ya in the next one.